Good day, everyone. This is Juanita Kapp from Meticulous Moments, and it has been such an eventful week. It's just that I am learning so many lessons along my journey, along my path, and I'm grateful for each and every one of those lessons because it makes us stronger, it gives us perspective, and it helps us to be the best versions of ourselves. So, welcome to Meticulous Moments today. It has been an incredible time. The last 3 years it's been an adventure. I've met amazing people. I have rubbed shoulders with people that are resilient, people that have overcome so many difficulties and they shine through those difficulties. People have been thrown with curveballs in their lives and still they have attained, still they have been victorious. So for me, it is such a blessing and an honor to be able to do Meticulous Moments. I'm in season 3. I believe I'm at interview 400 and something by now, and it's just been a blessing, and so many people that I meet come onto the show and inspire me and the audience. And I just want to say thank you to each and every audience member, to the followers. I want to say thank you to the guests, the speakers. I want to say thank you to the MAM group. Guys, we have our event coming up, Dallas, Texas, Hilton Lincoln Center, and that is December 6th to 8th. It's going to be epic. I spoke to someone again today. People are hopping on board and they are celebrating each other's accomplishments. And we are here to celebrate another accomplished leader, martial artist. He loves yoga. He does so many amazing videos on Facebook. I nominated him for the MAM Hall of Fame because I see the talent, I see the dedication, I see the passion that he has for the arts. And I want to bring onto the stage Adam McKinley. Welcome, Adam.
Hello, thank you. Thank you so much.
You are welcome, Adam. It's such an honor to have you here. Now, guys, just to give you some background, Adam and I have been struggling. Actually, it was on my side. I'm in Temple, Texas, and I have been having so many technological problems here. I said to Adam earlier, we can't live with technology and we can't live without it. This is our world now, right? Storms everywhere. And lots of things going wrong, but we are here in Meticulous Moments with precious info. We want to know, who is Adam McKinley? Please tell the audience.
Well, my name is Adam Gregory McKinley. I live in the Sierra Nevada mountains here in Northern California. I am a martial arts instructor. I currently practice yoga. I'm practicing Reiki, and I'm just kind of an all-around aficionado of the arts. So.
Fantastic. And we know, when we talked, we touched a little bit on the fact that it's a wonderful thing that you are busy with ninjutsu, and you are busy with yoga, and you are busy with Reiki as well as martial arts. I believe you mentioned Shotokan. And,
yeah.
Right? Tell us about your Shotokan journey.
So I got started basically in Taekwondo. I got started in Reno, Nevada. I went to the Ernie Reyes Junior School of Taekwondo out there, got my junior black belt, and then, time kind of progressed and I went on and I kind of eventually got involved with a man named Dennis Martin, who involved me with some Shotokan karate and some Okinawan-based style karate. So that was kind of my intro into what I would call the real martial arts chapter in my life.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Someone seeing that potential in you and taking the time and the effort. I think out there, and I don't think I've discussed this with you yet, but the senseis, the kyoshis, the sifus, the hanshis that we meet on our path. And in our martial arts journey, they are so much more than just our karate instructors. They become our coaches and our mentors. Would you agree?
Absolutely. And, I don't just look at at a martial arts instructor as a teacher. I mean, we meet so many teachers in everyday life, and there's so much to be learned on so many different paths. And I think that that's where I am at almost 43 years old. I just kind of want to be a sponge, and I kind of want to just take in as much knowledge in capacity as I can at this point.
Absolutely. You definitely have the heart for the martial arts. You have that passion. I believe you tagged me in a video earlier this week with a kick that you were
Mm.
executing there. And I want to say to you, Adam, you have had your master and your instructors in the styles, Shotokan and the other styles that you do. But you are an instructor, so you are someone else's mentor, and you are fulfilling that role now. How does that make you feel when you hear that?
It feels really good. At the same time, I think that it's time for me to understand that I have a responsibility to give to this person, and I have to be the best that I can be in order that I mold this person into the best that they can be.
Right.
And there are times in the past where I haven't been the best that I can be, and I've been, downright angry and ferocious and not such a good person. But I think it's time that I give my students the best Adam that they can possibly get. And so that's what I'm going to try to do.
Beautiful. The best Adam that they can possibly get, and the best instructor, and you are a teachable individual. And that's why I know that you're going to do amazing things in the martial arts. Adam, I selected you for the MAM Hall of Fame because I saw that talent. I
Thank
saw
you.
you and I saw your consistency. And I said,
Thank you.
that is the caliber of individual I want in that MAM Hall of Fame. You're very, very welcome. Now, you touched on something that I spoke to someone earlier today. I just want to ask the audience. Now, some of you are joining us, some of you are going to watch this in the replay. This is going to go onto the TV station as well. These other people that can also comment. Guys, if you want to comment, go to Juanita Kapp 3556 on YouTube or here on Facebook. But if you're watching this later on the television station, go there and answer this question for me. I have a question for the audience, and that is, if anyone is perfect out there, if there's someone that is 100% perfect, that doesn't make mistakes, that doesn't have character flaws, please put your name in the comments, because I would like to meet you. We try
Look,
our best.
I
None of
think
us.
I think I want to be the first one to say that I have tons of character flaws, and I'm absolutely not afraid to admit it. I'm ready to break my ego right here.
And men.
I have been responsible for all of the negativity that I have complained about in the past. I have been responsible for all the things that I am actually writing a book about now. There's a lot of negativity in this community. There's a lot of deconstruction, and there needs to be
Yep.
more love and compassion, and there needs to be more helping people and more constructive criticism, and not just this horrible, vile, poisonous mess of words. It's
Right.
too bad.
That's right. I agree with you. I do, and you know why I wanna support my statement is that you know the martial arts journey teaches you that every day is not going to be your best day. And
No.
every time you compete and you step on that mat, it's not going to be your best tournament. It's not going to be your best fight or your best kata. Sometimes, like we say in the martial arts, shout out to Mark Cox, my brother, who taught me this. Sometimes you're the hammer, sometimes you're the nail. And it's the same in life.
Well, and
Sometimes
look,
I'm having my best day, and sometimes I make mistakes, right?
and look, that's what this journey is all about, right? Like, we're supposed to make mistakes. Like, what I think that most teachers don't understand is we've made more mistakes than any student could ever begin to make. And
That's
that's
right.
why we're teachers. And I think it's important for us to admit to our faults, admit
Yeah.
that we, again, I'm a martial artist that had a serious ego problem, and I think that ego is a very, very big problem in this
Yeah.
community. And I think
Right.
it's just adamant that we try to break it down and just realize that we are all here and we are all experiencing this, and we can all benefit from one another. We can learn from one another, and we can learn to adapt to learn from one another. And
That's
I
right.
think that it's important that we just, instead of trying to attack each other, and instead of trying to, oh, this guy's got a fraudulent lineage, or this guy's got a trustworthy, whatever. I think it's important that people understand that this is very much an individual path for every one of us. The martial arts is very individual for me in that I'm doing this for me. I'm not doing it to become better for the people that watch me. I'm doing it to become better than I was the day before. It's very much a personal path, and I'm very much a student. I don't want anybody to believe for a second just because I have a title that I'm not a student. I'm very much learning every day, making constant mistakes so that I can rectify them, learn from them, and take whatever I had to take to become that better person. That's what the martial arts is for me. And look, I wanted to kind of reinstate this. There's a difference between people that want to study martial arts, and there's a difference between people that want to study martial science. I think a lot of us are artists,
Very
and as
true.
martial artists, we are artists. We're painters. We pick up a brush and we paint. We're little Bob Rosses painting
Canvas.
happy little trees. You know, like that's what it is. And I think that people just need to realize that there are martial arts, there are types of martial arts, there are tiers of martial arts for
Yes.
everyone.
Absolutely. And there's a space for everyone, guys. That's the best
Absolutely.
part. That's the best part. And you know what I do here at Meticulous Moments and what the audience helps me with and the guests and everybody that's a part of Meticulous and Ma'am and everybody that follows, you know, me and that Meticulous and the page. And it's been a part of this. You are
Sure.
all my family. And I learn from you. And sometimes, you know, I hear constructive criticism and I go back and I try and work because my life, like you said, in our lives, it's a canvas. Guys, sometimes my
Absolutely.
canvas is messy. Sometimes my picture looks crooked. I made a mistake and I put a line somewhere it wasn't supposed to be.
But
But
look,
guess what?
but
I
look
can
though, Juanita, it's
fix it,
okay. It's okay. It's okay if it's crooked because it just means
right?
you're a Picasso. You're a Picasso.
Exactly. Amen to that. So guys, even if your canvas for the day, because listen, our little goals lead to our large goals. And if you've been struggling with certain things, I was in the ministry for 15 years. I was a pastor, and I've seen everything. And you know, there's some things that you see that you can't unsee, and things that you hear that you can't unhear. But your choice, the choices we make, is the life that we live. Sometimes we make a choice to be better and do better, but we don't excel at it at first. It takes weeks and years. You know, Adam, and every other martial artist out there knows. If someone is taught a move the wrong way, it takes them about 1,000 times to relearn that move. That's how strong
Absolutely.
muscle memory is. And that's why you said you have a responsibility. And when you said that, I thought about that is why we take it so seriously when we have people that we teach, because we know if we
Sure.
teach them wrong, it's so hard to get that right, that
Sure.
move or that, you know. So in
Sure.
life, we go through pain and suffering and trauma, and it takes us a long time to be better. But guess what? Along that path, along that adventure, our characters are shaped. And as long as our hearts are in the right place, guys, let's have compassion and grace for each other. We don't know what other people have faced behind closed doors. We don't know what they are facing today. What would you say to that?
Look, I guess I would say that, everybody first of all loves a comeback. Everybody loves the
Yeah,
comeback. Everybody loves
right?
the Rocky. But I will say this. Look, I think again that as martial artists, we all have a responsibility to one another, not
That's
just
it.
as students, not just as teachers, but as accolades, as friends, as peers. We owe it to each other to be constructive in our criticism. I'm not saying not criticize. I think that criticism is very much needed because it helps us and
Of
it gives us
course.
this impact on how we need to be. But I think that there's too many people just pushing a negative energy out there, and I think
Yeah.
that it's a collaborative negative energy, and it gets bigger and it gets bigger. And unfortunately, it's not just people of no note worth. I'm talking like legends in the martial arts community, guys that I watched in the movies growing up that I was inspired by, and they're going out and they're spewing that negativity. And we I deserve better. You deserve better. We all deserve better. And he deserves better. The guy spewing the negativity. It's just this vile cycle of just negativity. And it's not coming from just a nobody source. It's coming from, like I said, these are legendary people in this community, people that I should be able to look up to, people that I should be able to approach and gain something from. And I'm not going to independently call anybody out. That's not what I'm about. I would never do anything like that. What I will say is we need to do better. That's simply it.
We do better. We do better. We are better. I always give people the benefit of the doubt, and believe you me, Adam, and I want to mention this. I don't think I've mentioned this before. People know about this, but I haven't mentioned this online before. But let me tell you something that's happened to me as well, and I did not retaliate. It happened earlier this year. I did not retaliate. I responded with love. I flipped that script so quickly. I responded with love, and I said, you know what? I'm going to keep on loving on people. And here at Meticulous Moments and at MAM, no negative energy, guys. I'll always give you the benefit of the doubt, and I'll always turn my other cheek. You know me. You've seen it. You've been through it. And I'll always be good to people. And I just thank everyone that's on here, the ones that have been supportive. You have meant the world to me and our other members. Support, love, upliftment. I believe positive energy changes the world. I believe that we should have grace.
Right.
And when we put that wonderful energy out there, guess what? The universe is going to reciprocate it.
Sure.
I have been through many disappointments in my life, but there's something inside of me, and that is something that the universe put there, that God put there. I'll never forget, and I'm not going to share the specifics of it, but Adam, in the ministry, I had a very big disappointment. And I was so down and out. I actually sat on my couch for 3 days. I just sat on my couch because I couldn't. It was sinking in. I couldn't believe what had happened. You remember I said sometimes you can't unsee and unhear things. And I sat on my couch for 3 days, and I was thinking. My mind. I was in my head. I was thinking how. Why the questions come up, right? And on the third day, man, something just broke through. There's something in me. I just can't stay in that place. I got up, and I was joyous again, and I was happy again, and I never let it catch me. When I went through other disappointments in my life again, there's just something inside of me that screams, no, I'm not going to sit in that trench. I'm not going to be in that rut. I have to shine, and you have the same energy.
Sure. And that's kind of where I am right now. I'm definitely not in a trench. Honestly, I'm in the best place I think I've ever been in my life. I'm doing great, and I've embraced all of these great things and had of all these great spiritual and mental experiences of late. And it's been a really, really, really good run for me. And you know what? Really, what I've come to, my conclusion is it's not my business what your opinion is of me. And so if you're a person out there,
none of our business, right?
It's not like, look, you're welcome to display whatever you'd like about me. That's not my business. And so that's what I think everybody really needs to take away from this, is that the people out there that struggle with being attacked and being or feeling violated online every time they post a video or they try to do this or that, I think that they need to realize that it's not your concern what their opinion is of you. And in fact, it's such a small little resolute nothing in a bigger world of nothing, in an even bigger universe of nothing. So it really is.
Right? Now I have kids. I don't know if you have kids, Adam, but I've got a daughter and a son. And I've watched, oh my goodness, some of the kiddies movies we've watched like 100 times. Now she was saying that, I thought about that Finding Nemo movie where Dory is singing Just Keep Swimming, right? Just
Yeah,
keep
my son
swimming.
watches that
Just keep swimming.
every night on repeat.
Right? And then the other thing I thought about, and that's something that I want to mention, because I spoke to my son about this the other day. Because, when our kids go through things, we go through it with them.
Sure.
They don't realize that, but because we love them, it impacts us as well. I
True.
said to him, I watched that first Inside Out movie with him. And the story was, and I'm going to put it in a nutshell, the story was about this little girl that was living in the most beautiful home. She was happy with her parents, and she was in this ice hockey team. And she was just, life was awesome. Now she's got these little characters that live in her mind. It's happiness, it's joy, there's sadness as well, but sadness wasn't very present because everything was going well. There's anger, but anger wasn't really present because everything was going well. There's disgust, but disgust never came to the fore because everything was going well. And boom, the whole world is turned upside down and she has to move. And they move into a house that she doesn't know. And she doesn't have her furniture with her, her toys and things, because the moving truck is late, and she's not in her ice hockey team. And the moral of that movie was she developed into a beautiful young lady, because guess what, guys? We don't just have the joy and the pleasantry and everything, the positivity. We can't just always function in that zone. Sometimes we need that sadness to realize something about ourselves.
Well, and
Sometimes
look,
we need to go
if
through
you
that
don't
anger or the disgust.
if
Isn't
you're
that
going through
beautiful?
well, look, and if you're going through zero challenge in your life, you're doing something wrong.
Right. And I use that illustration with him, and it's like something clicked. We have these emotions and we go through these things, guys, because we are developing, we're evolving, and that's part of the adventure. What adventure have you seen in a movie where what would the movie be like if everything was just pleasant? You'll stop watching after the 10th minute, because what are we watching? No, it's in the grit and the grind and the blood and the sweat and the tears and the disgust, and then at the end, the conclusion. And we all learn this lesson, and it speaks to us in different ways. Life is like that. It's not gonna change.
Look,
But
I
for
used
good
to look at
outcomes.
every negative thing in my life, and I kind of used to dwell on it and just think
Right?
this or that. And
Right?
what you have to realize is that is very much the tool that made the clay that made you into the clay that you are now. You know what I'm saying? Like that is who you are. That is what you've become. It has chiseled you away, and it has made you a better person because of the hardship. People need
That's
to
right.
embrace the hardship. The hardship is what makes you a better person.
I love that, and it's true. The hardship, you know what? The adventure is worth it. It's worth it. Live, guys. Don't just exist. Live. Be passionate. If there's something that's on your heart and you have to say it, say it. Live every day to the full. There's so many people out there that don't have the opportunity tomorrow morning to wake up. Live, you owe it to yourself and the people that you are touching. You have a destiny. Adam has a destiny. He has a destiny
We
to
all
fulfill.
do.
I have a destiny. Everybody has a destiny. We all make up this beautiful world, and there is a point to it all. If you're wondering, guys, there is a point to it all, and you'll see that. But enjoy it. Look back and say, "Oh my gosh, this bad thing happened to me, but it shaped me in this manner, and I realized new things about myself, and I can do it." With students, and you'll know this because you're an instructor. Some students come in and they just catch the move, and they see the kata and they just do it.
Sure.
And other students, it takes them a little bit longer because everybody learns differently. Like you said, we're the clay,
Well,
we're the canvas. Do you
and
know what?
I
It's
think
the
that this is
amazing thing to see, isn't it? When they
well,
catch that finally.
sure. And I think that this is kind of why I stress I'm not the type of teacher, like if you want to come to a class full of 60 kids, I'm not going to be of use to you. I'm kind of more of a one-on-one person. I don't feel
That's
like I
good.
have much to give to a person or people in a big room. I think that there are a majority of teachers out there that like to use this golden thing that every time a white belt walks in, they say, only 5% of us will become black belts. And
Huh.
what's really interesting about that comment is it's not because the students are failing. It's because the teachers are failing. And it's because they're running these huge dojos that are crammed full of 60 kids. The 2 or 3 back bottom rows aren't getting what the first 2 top tiers are getting. Everybody doesn't know what's going on. Everybody's doing something different. It's super important when you're teaching martial arts or martial science to somebody to allow them your full concentration so that you know how to mold that person, how to make that person better. We're all individuals. We're not going to react the same, which is why I think collaborative martial art groups and experiences, if there's too many people there, it can just be uneventful for a lot of the people there. And that is simply why people don't end up becoming black belts. It's not the fault of the people walking in with the pocketbooks. It's the fault of the teachers with the huge, gigantic schools with 60 students crammed in the room. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that there has to be something said about that. I think it's important that, and I think that, look, if you look at the numbers, you'll see that people that have been taught in one-on-one situations are really, really good martial artists. And I don't think that's debatable.
Let me tell you what I did. Now I know a lot of martial artists that are, you're all my family, guys. I've mentioned that before, but let me tell you, some schools I've seen that can operate in that fashion. They've got 60 students and they're all good, and they walk through the rows, because we had a big school like that. But I'll tell you what I did. Because my children love the martial arts so much, we didn't just go to the 2 classes every day, for our ages. We went to an extra class. It was called the private class. My son and I went. And I did that for a reason, because in that class, every single person, we were about 8 or 10, every single person was checked on every single thing that they did. And I cannot tell you the big difference that made in the long run, because in the big group, you learned general things, and you had that practice time, right? We went for 3 hours straight.
That's that was a very lucky experience, and that's super cool that you were able to have that experience with your daughter. I think that if we're going to choose to have bigger schools, that is the answer, to still take that individual time with every individual student and allow them that time one-on-one. Again, in my experience, I don't know if it's been in other people's experience, but in my 21 years in doing this, my experience has been that a commercial school, generally the majority I've been to, haven't taken the opportunity or the time to sit individually with every student. And I think that's where the failure lies. So for me, I don't mind taking on multiple students, but I won't teach multiple students at one time. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's good. And that, what's the best part of what we have been saying? Let me tell you something. I taught my kids this. I said the worst thing in the world that we are taught in society is that there's only one answer to a question.
Sure.
There are several ways that you can figure something out, guys. Seriously. I'm dead serious about this. So
I like saying that there are many paths to God when I refer to the martial arts.
Okay, good. So guess what? There's not just one recipe to do this. What works for your area or the instructor or the students that he's presented with, as long as we learn those lessons and get strengthened in a spiritual, it's not just a physical strengthening, it's a mental thing, it's emotional, it's spiritual, guys, we're good. But I wanted to ask you, because I've had these things that I've been thinking about. I like to read about philosophy and to think about difficult questions and things like that. That comes from the days of my studying theology, and I was thinking about something, and I wanted to ask you, because I ask myself difficult questions, because then I know I'm going to dig deep and find those answers. And I wanted to ask you, what's the most disappointing thing you've ever been through, and how did you get through it?
I don't know if I could actually give you one individual thing that I went through that was horrible and I just had to find a way through it. I think that it would have definitely been a collaborative bunch of things that I had to go through to get through it. And I think that basically the best way for a man of my age and my stature to get through something is to understand that you have to just break that ego, that it's not going to
Right?
be useful for you. It's not going to add anything to anything that you're doing. You have to realize that you have to come to the conclusion that you are fallible and that you need assistance sometimes and that you need help sometimes. I think it's important
Guidance.
to
Yeah.
realize that it is okay to establish a sense of sensitivity. As a man, I constantly find myself running into the most alpha truistic type people, and it's okay for an
Yeah.
alpha to be a little femme sometimes.
Right.
It's okay to embrace the feminine. I'm on my spiritual path, learning about Lord Shiva, learning about yoga, and it's been so helpful in what I'm doing in my life, and it has been yoga has been medicine to my life, to my body, to my mind, to my soul. And I think that it's important for people to understand that we, as a people, as a race of humans, it is impossible for us to get past those roadblocks when
Yeah.
we're too busy being full of ourselves and being full of everything that we
We're
think.
blinded, train. Yeah.
Right. When you can break that down, you can start to see clearly. You can see you can see beyond all of the negativity. You can see beyond all of those things that were roadblocks for you, and you can
Right.
finally start to pick them apart and find a path through the woods. You know?
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%, guys. I did yoga when I was expecting my daughter. Absolutely fabulous. It is a process. And I said he's an alpha male. I said to someone the other day, I said, do you know that everybody has a masculine and a feminine? And he about fell off his chair. I said,
Look,
no, listen, let me explain. I said, every person has a masculine and a feminine. You'll see, I saw this wonderful video where a lady was talking about the fact that if a man is not being the alpha in the house, the normal thing or the natural thing that would happen for her is she'll move into her alpha because
sure,
someone has to
sure.
lead,
So,
right?
so
And he couldn't
let me
understand that.
let me rephrase this. So I think it's important for men watching this to realize I'm not saying you shouldn't be an alpha at home.
Right?
I think that there's poisonous alphas. I think that there's
Yeah.
toxic alphas. I think that there
True.
are people out there
Strong.
that generally are not really being alphas. I think that they're under the conceivable idea that they're alphas, but it's not really true. And I think that idea of taking ice baths every day and pushing yourself 20 miles and not eating and doing all these extreme types of things to your body to prove that you're more manly than the guy next to you. Come on. I mean, realistically, we know that that's not something we're going to do. I'm not going to do it at 43 years old. I'm not going to teach my students how to do it. But I think that it's important, yes, as men, we need to understand that it's okay for us to still carry that strong alpha sense, but that it's okay to embrace that feminine product, that material that is
Yeah.
available to you. I don't think people realize how important and how impactful to your life that can be. It can be good for your marriage. It can be good for your life with the people that are around you, your business, the people that you work with, your peers. I mean, I don't think people really realize, and this is kind of why I wanted to reinstate too, yoga is not something that is just for females. It's not something that just females
Wow.
benefit from. I
Right.
would like to reiterate that the first yogi was essentially Shiva. So people need to understand that the idea in
Okay.
the concept is yoga is good for us. It is medicine. It is something that makes
Yes.
us better here, and
That's
here
right.
everywhere.
Absolutely. I remember when I went to yoga. Oh my goodness, it's so relaxing. I would just go into that meditation, and when I
Mhm.
wake up there, I would feel like $1 million. And
Absolutely.
to the guys and girls out there, we switch from our alpha to our to our female side. If your job is if it requires you to be an alpha in a situation,
Mhm.
then you do it. You go, girl, lady.
Sure.
You do
Sure.
your job. But
Sure.
when you are mommy at home, you are fulfilling that role, and it's okay to switch.
Look,
I think sometimes people the lines get blurry.
well, it
We are
does. Look,
wonderfully
look,
made, and
look.
there's
I think
nothing
it's
wrong with that.
I think essentially as a man, it's harder for me to have conversations with other men about this subject and this topic because I think it's just not a place that most men want to go. But for those that have kind of ascended and understand what I'm talking about,
Right?
you realize the sensibility, you realize the logic behind
It's
it,
okay to
you
cry.
realize that it can be beneficial to you. So again, I think that as people, I think that we need to think logically and we need to use common sense
That's
and
right.
look, as we age, we need to take care of our bodies. These are the one
Yep,
temples. These are our temples. These are the places that we have to go to
that's right.
to be us. So I think it's important that we need to take care of our bodies, and nurture
Yep,
our bodies and make sure that we're giving our bodies the nutrients and the things that they need because really and truthfully, I see a world full of people that just have lost that sensibility and spirituality. They've lost that sensibility and
right.
understanding that there is so much to be gained. I mean, I live in the Sierra Nevada mountains. I love going out into the trees and into the forest
Yeah,
and getting away from
walk
anything
barefoot.
that has to do with tech.
That's right. That's right. And something that came up to me now that I thought about is also out there, guys. Be careful. There's a difference between having between an alpha male and someone that's just being narcissistic.
Oh,
No,
sure.
go and read about it because there's a
Oh,
big
sure.
difference. And the other
Oh,
thing
sure.
that I
And
wanted to mention is, when I was a pastor, it was Polokwane. Petersburg was its name before they changed it to Polokwane. But I had a man in the church, in the congregation, and he was one of these, he did these strongmen competitions. Like they would blow up a water bottle and tear a
oh,
telephone book that's this thick and pull a plane and all kinds of stuff, guys. Things that I've never ever seen in my life, I saw there. But when we were busy in that worship service, and we would be singing praises, or I would walk up to the pulpit and start preaching, and the Spirit of the Lord would be on us. Call it energy. People call it different things. I'm saying what I call it. He would be the first one that would be emotionally touched by the presence of the Lord, that would cry, or it's not wrong to be in touch with that side of
sure.
yourself.
And
It's
and I want to
not,
say this too. Like
not a
I'm
weakness.
Sure, sure. And I'm not a Christian. I'm actually kind of, more open to Hindu beliefs and more Shivite
Yeah,
beliefs. But I would
that's
say
good,
that people need to realize that the creator, it's here. That the
right?
understanding that something is outside of you, the understanding that we believe that something is individual and away from us, that is why we lack in the ability to achieve the goals and the things and the dreams that we have, because we don't realize that it's all here. It's here. Whether you're a Christian, whether you're a Hindu, whether you're Islam, whether it doesn't matter. God is here. And that's what people need to realize. It's not something that you need to go to a place to obtain. It's literally all around you. And when you understand that and when you can conceive that, then things start to work. Things start to
Makes
go your way.
sense, right? Now, I wasn't your typical pastor, Adam. I'll tell you why. I used to, because I don't preach religion. I preach relationship. Those years when I was a pastor, right? But
Mhm.
I also taught about energy. And I taught about science, because
Sure.
contrary to a lot of beliefs out there and a lot of doctrines, you can either have the religion or you can have the science. Guys, no. It's
They have to be they,
all
they
connected.
look, and they have to be one. And I need people to realize, like, when you read about things like, you're a history buff, you read about things like alchemy. That was the mixture of science and spirituality. That was the mixture
That's
of
right.
magic, and it was the mixture of religion. And what people need to realize is when you coincide the two and you don't try to defer the two and you don't try to put a wall in between the two,
When
it
you're
becomes
in your
relevant and it becomes
flow. Yes.
Absolutely, it becomes real. And so this is what people need to understand is they need to stop looking at things like they're so far away. Everybody's out there going, oh, I need to go to this place to get to where I'm going, or I need to find this in my life, or I need to obtain this money, or I need to obtain this car, whatever it is. Look, all of the answers that you're looking for are literally right here. And I mean it. I'm not trying to
Yeah.
just like fill your ear with just garbage and drivel. Like, it's the reality is that it's here, and that when people start to understand that is there, it becomes evident to them, and their lives change drastically. Like, I'm one of the first people to admit, if you know me on this platform, you know I was a negative person. You know I was battling back and forth with big names in the martial arts community. You know
Right?
that I was going back and forth, and I was this and that, and I was trying to make people feel negative, and I was exactly the problem that I was talking about tonight.
Huh.
You have to become the how? Oh God!
No,
I
I
mean, if
said,
you,
I said, huh, like
yeah, yeah,
breathing.
absolutely, absolutely. Look. I think that it's really important. I think that it's really important for people to realize that we need to be more busy trying to help one another. At the
Right?
end of the day, we're not getting anything from trying to make somebody feel bad about
Yes.
themselves because you don't agree with their path. We are
That's
all
right.
on different paths. Look, I'm not going to name individuals, but every day I get my coffee and I get my phone out and I lay next to my wife and I scroll in bed and I'm scrolling and I see this one guy, okay, and he always posts his videos to the community, okay? And this guy, he takes the worst trash in the world. People attack this guy and they badger this guy, and they're like, they say the most. I mean, if I tried to say the things on this show, you'd be banned. It's
Huh.
horrible.
Don't say
So
it. Don't say it.
yeah, no. But so look though, but every day for years, beyond the idea that people have constantly barraged this guy, they have constantly attacked this guy. He's out there getting it every single day,
He's
while
broken.
guys, all these guys are in there and they're like, oh, I'm a 10th degree and I'm this and I'm that. And they're not out there getting it. When you go to their profiles, they don't have profiles. There's no pictures of them getting it. There's no videos. And this guy's out there getting it every day.
Doing his
And
best.
look, I personally, as a person, look, I'm not going to beat around the bush. I believe I know how the sausage is made. I believe I know what
Huh?
I'm doing. I believe that I know that I'm good at what I do. And when I look at this guy, I see that he's struggling, but he's doing something that no other of the martial arts are doing in this community. He's doing it every day beyond the opinion. He does not care about your opinion. He's embracing the martial arts, and
Doing
he
his
is
best.
he is an individual superhero, in my opinion. The man
Wow,
is
that's just
beyond it.
awesome. That is awesome. I like to hear that. And I'm happy to hear, Adam, that you have changed from being a negative person to
Sure.
being a positive person. I like that energy. And you know what? When we are present in the moment, because so many things come at us, external things, it's social media, the phones are ringing, I have to be on my laptop, I have to go there, this is happening, the world is falling apart, and I don't know what now. I'm going
Look,
to be
and it's
present in
crazy. Like
the moment, guys. I'm in
and
the
look and look,
moment.
we live in the United States. As Americans, we're all going through the craziest presidential election ever right now. And you know what I got to say? There's more politics in the martial arts community than there is in the American election. And that's just not okay. That's not
It's not,
okay. Like,
it's
it's
not
just not
about,
okay.
that is, yeah, there's politics and everything, but I don't get involved with the politics.
No.
I love the people. I love what they do. And
Yeah,
shout out to that guy that's consistent with what he does every day, because I
sure.
cheer him on. And I cheer all of the meticulous people on and the man people and you, because you have through that positive energy, you flipped the script. You went from being negative to being positive
Look, I
and
have to I'm
helping
up.
and
I'm,
assisting. So through doing that, you have come into alignment with yourself and the universe, and so many things are falling into place for you. So
sure.
kudos on that.
I, I mean, look. I think that there's just a lot of things going on in my life. Like I said, I have a lot of ventures that I'm kind of looking into. Like I said, I'm falling into just this really deep spiritual path where I'm starting to kind of really, really appreciate the creator, really, really appreciate
That's
the love
wonderful.
and passion that I feel for the creator. I'm learning how to break down my ego daily. I'm learning how to
That's
kind
good.
of get beyond this kind of mental plane where I've been kind of stuck for the last 40 years.
That's good.
The thing about waking up is realizing that you have to
Yeah.
reprogram everything you've ever learned. And I think that
Subconscious, right?
sure,
Yeah.
sure, you have to start really thinking in a different way. I think that again, it's been a beautiful thing for me. Again, I look, and this is no offense to anybody. I hope nobody takes offense to this.
Oh, of course not.
I grew up a Christian, and I tried many different paths, many different religions, and many different spiritualities. And I could tell you, many different things about many different Buddhist paths or pagan paths or whatever. But what I can tell you is I've never felt the love, the embrace, the
Yeah.
passion, or the love back for a creator, or just the appreciation that I feel. I think that people need to realize that there's something so much bigger than computer screens and getting involved in this everyday tech life. I think that people need to return to something so much more organic, so much more creative. And I think that that's kind of where I stem from. I'm just on this wild ride, and I love
That's good.
embracing it, and I just want more and more. So,
Oh, that's good, Adam. As long as you're happy, as long as you're finding what you are searching
sure,
for. I mean, we are on this platform. We embrace,
sure.
right? It's not about religion, it's not about politics, it's about embracing life,
Right?
enjoying
Remember
life,
JC, guys.
valuing.
Remember JC. I'm just kidding.
Oh my goodness. But you know what, Adam? You have been selected to be a MAM Hall of Fame inductee.
Thank you.
And
Thank
I'm so
you.
happy to have you on board.
Thank
You
you.
are welcome. And I just want to, as we close out the session, because I know you have an important
Sure.
appointment to get to,
Sure.
would you leave some words of wisdom for the audience, please?
You know what I would say? Take the time to get to know yourself. Take some
Yeah.
time away from social media. Take some
Mhm.
time away from your everyday life. Take some time away from the everyday drool that you have to be involved with. Go out to the
The
woods, go
cycle.
out to the mountains, embrace the water, embrace the trees, embrace the rocks, and just literally realize that you are literally a part of everything and everything is a part of you, and realize that once you realize that, everything will come into focus. That's what I have to leave for you guys.
Awesome. Awesome. When we're present in that moment, guys, clarity comes to the fore. Take the time, take your shoes and your socks off and walk barefoot on the grass. Go hiking when you can.
Absolutely.
Just sit outside and look at the moon sometimes. That's what I like to
Enjoy,
do.
and you know what, enjoy this beautiful place we live on.
Right?
Enjoy the
Right?
people, love the people, have
Yes.
passion for the people, embrace the people, embrace their opinions, embrace everything you can, and learn everything you can. You have one life. That's it.
Absolutely. And you know what? I know in there Adam meant that we should embrace other people's
Sure.
faults as well. And
Absolutely.
we should see that they're trying, and we should realize none of us are perfect. We
No,
all
no,
have.
absolutely not. And look, I want to reiterate this too. Earlier, I kind of felt like maybe I was trying to individualize. I am the first one to tell everybody here that I am responsible for my actions, and that a lot of what happened and transpired online in the past between me and anybody that has an issue with me, know that that was very much my fault. Know that I am very much taking responsibility for my actions. Know that I blame nobody but myself. Know that I fully understand, and that is the difference. And I think we all need to have the ability to break that ego so we can do the same thing.
That's good. That's good. I'm very proud of you. I'm
Thank
very,
you.
very proud of you. You're my
Thank
brother.
you.
And it
Thank
was
you.
an honor to have you on the show. I'll see you in Dallas in
Absolutely.
December. And you go enjoy your appointment. I'll chat to you
Thank
soon.
you.
Thank you so much for the
All
honor.
right. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Well, guys, that was Adam McKinley, and I just want to reiterate. This Ma'am Hall of Fame is going to be an epic event. There are so many amazing people coming from all across the globe, and we are going to celebrate you. All the inductees, we are going to celebrate you. We are going to come together as a family, as the Ma'am family, and we are just going to do great things. We're going to have an exceptional weekend. And it is almost time for us to close off the nomination. So if you have a nomination, you better send it in soon. DM me on Facebook Messenger or Instagram, or email me at meticulousmacarons@gmail.com. Now, it's December 6 to 8 at the Hilton Center in Dallas, Texas. And we have 6 facilitators flying in. So I want you there. And if you're not an inductee, but you are a martial artist, you have the opportunity to come and train and meet our facilitators on December the 7th. And we're going to have 6 training sessions from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. So make sure you get the link. It's on my page multiple times on all the posts, and make sure you join us. This is the opportunity of a lifetime, and everything's put together with love for you, because we love the martial arts and we love the positive effect that martial arts has in the world. It's building society, it's building the future, it's building our character and making us better. So I'll see you in the next session. I'm going to end with a video from Andrew Griggs that he made for the Ma'am Hall of Fame. Enjoy.